Hey guys, MCU Collector here, and we are back with video number 6 in the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, X-Men Wave 4 Caliban Build-A-Figure. Next up is Blink. Now this looks like an okay figure with some good accessories. I'm actually looking more forward to the accessories than the actual figure herself. So I'm not real familiar with the character, but I do know that the character was in X-Men Days of Future Past, the movie, as well as in the Gifted TV show on Fox. I actually really like the character. The power set with the portals is pretty awesome as well. So I am looking forward to it because of that. So I have a little bit of background information, but really cool. So you can see the accessory. She actually comes with a portal, so that is actually really awesome. And then I think this is kind of the effect where she throws it to open the portal. So really cool. The artwork looks awesome because it's very colorful and stands out because of her purple skin and her green outfit. So that's pretty awesome. Here we have a look at the back of the package, and I like that they have in the artwork, they show the portal and then she's throwing the things. Let's take a look at that bio. Marvel's Blink. Clarice Ferguson uses her mutant ability of teleportation to disappear and reappear in the blink of an eye. So I guess that's how they get Blink, right? So pretty cool. Here is a look at the UPC for you folks there. Now let's get to it and open this figure up. Okay, here is the Blink figure out of the package, and I'm not being as loud right now because I'm worried that any slight movement and she will fall. I was able to balance her stepping through the portal while it's still in the air. There's nothing holding this portal up except I kind of have it wedged in her right arm to where she is holding, and it took me forever to do this. So I'm worried about moving it. So this thing is pretty awesome. I do wish, however, that the portal was larger so then we may be able to do other things with it. Now, I know that there's going to be some folks out there that are going to do absolutely amazing things with this portal because you could use certain types of stands, you know, the ones where it's just kind of the wire, and then you just kind of have to wedge it into the figure. I think with this particular one, you're easily going to be able to wedge that into the portal ring itself, because on the back, which I'll show you here shortly, you'll be able to use it to kind of elevate it and do all kinds of crazy things. But I have to give myself some credit for somebody that doesn't know how to pose figures. I think I did okay with this because, again, it's perfectly balanced. It took me forever to get her to stand and for this portal not to fall over. So I am a little proud of myself here. As you can see, and it's... Oh, I got it. I got it to stay even still. So you can see I have it wedged in her arm there, and I'll show you guys that here shortly. But I just wanted to get this out of the way before I mess it up and take it apart and we look at the figure, all this and that. So there it is. Now we'll take a closer look at the accessories and then take a closer look at the figure and then go over the articulation. Okay, so we're going to start out looking at the accessories that Blink comes with. So I just zoomed in. So one of the things that she does come with, she also comes with the left leg of Caliban. We're not going to really look at that. We will look at that all together in the Caliban video at the end when we review and look at all the figures in the wave. So here we're just going to focus on the portal and then the two projectiles that she comes with. So she can just hold these in her hand. They just slip right on in, no problem. They're... There's not a whole lot of sculpt to them. There's really no details. It's all very smooth with some curvature in there, as you could see. And they are very, very rubbery at the end. So they are flexible like crazy, and they'll just go right back to their original shape. But both of them are the same, and they are a semi-translucent pink color, kind of like the portal that she comes with. So as you can see on the back... So you can see it has this inner ring. So if you use some kind of stand, you'll be able to easily get one in there. So like the stands that I'm thinking of are, you know, the metal stands that just kind of stick up and then you can, you know, just port them in. You could do all kinds of crazy things, you know, with those type of stands. I don't have any of those type of stands to be able to do that. So that's why I had to kind of come up with something on my own. But there's all kinds of things that you'll be able to do because it has this inner ring to it. Now this is done in that same semi-translucent pink color. And it does look very good. It has kind of really that rippling portal shape, kind of has a nice shine to it. Another thing that I was thinking about on the inside of here, I know ACBA guys, they use like finger lights. Maybe you can kind of get them in there and get this portal to really shine bright. I think that would look really cool. I really like this, but again, I think if it were bigger, that would be great, and I know it would be difficult for Hasbro to have done a larger portal to fit it in the package or anything, but I like that it's one piece instead of two pieces that kind of click together, because then you're not going to get really the same look to it, because it's fairly soft with a little bit of flex to it. You don't want to do it too much. So if it was in separate pieces, it would have to use a harder plastic, I'm sure, and it just wouldn't, I'm sure it wouldn't come out as nice. But I do really like the way it looks. So there it is, and you can just have her coming through it in all kinds of different ways. You may have to kind of edit out like her legs or something, but you know, in the package she was kind of in it. So there's all kinds of crazy things that you could do. So pretty awesome. I like the way that came out. Now let's look at the figure. Okay, and looking up close to Blink, I think the head sculpt does look very good. It came out nice and clean. The paint apps that are on it, you know, the pink birthmarks that she has. I did read that she was born with those. Her eyes are green. The hair, I think, is a little bit of a kind of a darker red, like a magenta, and I think, you know, depending on artist, it's been pink. I think it's purple in the Gifted, because they didn't give her purple skin, but I think that's why her hair is purple. So a couple of things, but I think it does look very good. It's all cleanly applied. She does have pointy ears, which is nice, because that is one of the key characteristics of Blink. You know, so they kept all those things here, which is really good. This body, I'm not sure exactly which female body this is, but there's a couple of different ones. This is not the same body that Mystique uses, which I think is for the better. Now, even though these legs are pretty thin, they are not as thin as the ones on Mystique. So this female buck I like a lot more than that. And one thing, and I had mentioned this previously, is that in the X-Men waves, usually we've had some poor paint apps. It does not look to be the case with this wave, at least in the ones that I did get. Not that there's a whole lot of paint apps to it, but, you know, and a lot of times we had seen, you know, really rough edges on the paint, or there might be a lot of paint smudges, that kind of thing. These paint lines are actually pretty clean throughout, so I'm very happy about that. We got one little smudge there on her arm. Not a big deal at all. Those are kind of those one-offs. So there doesn't seem to be a whole lot. Again, not a whole lot of paint. You know, the arms are all green. Pretty standard stuff. Both hands, left and right, are just open hands, so she can hold those projectiles. I like the sash that's in front. You can see it's kind of curved and folding around. The same with the back side there. There's a little bit of brown and silver paint around the belt portion of it. That's all done fairly clean. Looks like a little over paint of silver. Well, if it ever, there it goes. A little bit of extra silver paint right there. Not a problem at all. Overall, it does look pretty good. I think probably a little too much brown on the back instead of silver there, but it's on the back of the figure, so it's not so bad. Down here on the legs, she has these floating cuff parts. Those are just kind of floating around, but the paint, the green paint, there it goes. The green paint does go up enough, so even as it floats around, you're not going to see any, you know, the purple skin tone coming through there. So not so much of an issue. So there she is. I'll zoom out and take a look at the articulation. Okay, so Blink stands right at about 6 inches. So fairly good sized figure. Here she is next to Mystique. And you can see Mystique is actually a little bit taller, but Mystique uses these very thin legs that I really don't like. So I like that, and you can see, you know, the torsos are different, whereas Mystique has that peg hole in the back. Blink does not. So going over the articulation, so her head can look down that far, which is great. Can't really look up a whole lot because the hair is going to hinder the articulation there. One thing that I forgot to mention is she actually has this brown and silver collar similar to the belt around her neck, and that is a floating piece there. And then the green of her shirt to on her neck to the purple skin tone is very cleanly done as well, so that is great. The shoulders go up that far. You get a full rotation, of course, back to the single jointed elbows, because these are reused parts, so you're going to get that much of a bend there, but you also get the swivel at the elbow. The wrists swivel, and they do hinge as well. The torso, we get the diaphragm joint, which is pretty standard on the female figures, but you're limited in articulation on this one, so she's only going to pivot that way that much. Pivot the other way, not a whole lot. Crunching forward, you really have to work it, but you're only going to get that much. Going back ever so slightly, so it's very limited motion in that diaphragm there. There's no waist swivel, of course. Legs go out that far apart. There is an upper thigh cut there. Legs can kick out that far. Going back, not a whole lot. Double jointed knee, which works out great, that you can see there. And then the ankle that hinges all the way down. Hinges up fairly well, and you get an ankle pivot there. There is no boot swivel or anything like that on the figure. So there is Blink. You guys let me know down in the comments below what you think of the video, what you think of the figure. If you guys have any questions, also let me know down in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up if you guys liked the video. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.